A quick recap. If you watched my last review, you will have learned that I do a lot of voice work. I've done a lot of voice work for the Power Rangers franchise and other shows as well, but a lot on Power Rangers. Despite having recorded a lot of the ADR and background sounds for R.P.M, I've never seen the series, so I decided, let's watch it. Also, because of the amount of voice work I've done for the show, I might be able to offer other kinds of insights into my live reactions that others might not be able to, because I was there and I saw a lot of fun, cool things. There's plenty of reasons why you should probably be watching my live reactions. Unlike other live reactions, I have a cute dog. You want to watch this episode with me? He said yes. I may try to make some predictions for the series. Back in episode 1, I theorized that it may be that our mystery man in black, or Ziggy, was a plant by Vengex in an effort to get someone on the inside of Corinth to bring down the city from within. That theory may not hold water. Do you have any theories? Of course he does. I'm also wondering if Colonel Truman's other son, the one who was reported lost in the last episode, will turn up again at some point in the series. I am curious as to why Dr. K only seems accessible as a computer voice. I have a theory, but I'm going to leave it a theory for now. You know, as with many of these kinds of post-apocalyptic shows where humanity has been decimated and reduced to a small population and they're fighting for survival, Battlestar Galactica, The Walking Dead, etc., there always seems to be some kind of internal threat, some kind of self-serving element within the remnant that's only looking out for themselves. So I'm going to predict that at some point in this series we're going to see something like that in R.P.M. Lastly, I suspect there may be some things that I will spot while watching this that will require some elaboration that I may not be able to do in the moment. So I may need to go back later and insert some things once I'm done with the filming. With that said, let's dive in. No, we're going to skip over this. We've already seen this.
What's a Power Ranger?
How does he not know what a Power Ranger is?
What do you mean? What?
Okay, I gotta say something about this opening shot. I love the special effects. I love the fact that they're in this domed city. You know, one of the things I have enjoyed about Power Rangers over the years, at least since 2002, all the amazing shots of Auckland. For those of you who don't know, Auckland is a really cool city in New Zealand. I know it like the back of my hand. That opening shot, obviously you can see the strut. Now that's clearly a special effect. But all these other buildings, I don't even know what these are. If you look at the bottom, there's something kind of sticking up, and it kind of looks like the Auckland Town Hall, but even that looks different. But all these other buildings, none of this is Auckland. This is something they've composited and thrown together. So if you're thinking that this is downtown Auckland, no. He looks unimpressed. Okay, I gotta add something here. I said in the last review that because this kind of monster would have been done in the Loop group, so it's a non-credited monster, they would have picked somebody on the spot in the Loop group to record that monster. Because there's certain people I've worked with so much over the years in the Loop group, I thought, you know, it might be my friend Jeremy or something. I know it's definitely not me. Someone in the comments section in the last review said it sounded like Adam Gardner, who's the voice of Sledge and various other monsters. Having gone back and listened to it, I think you're right. I don't remember Adam being in that Loop group session, but you know, the more I listen to it, I think Adam might have been there, and I just don't remember. That would have been like we recorded that in 2008. I think that that's definitely Adam Gardner. So, gold star for you. Yeah, it sounds so much like Adam Gardner. And he's down. Okay, it's time for the gigantification. All of them. Oh, that's kind of cool looking. The Scottish accent's really cool. Something I find interesting is like in the early days when I was doing voice work for this show, and I didn't really know anything about the show. I certainly didn't know that they had taken from a Japanese show and were recycling footage and then mixing it with new stuff. I figured it out after maybe one or two recording sessions. In the early days, it was like really, really obvious to tell when it was Japanese footage and when it was New Zealand footage. The obvious clues were the city doesn't look the same, but the other thing was usually like all the billboards with Japanese writing. That was usually a dead giveaway. As the seasons progressed, I noticed that they got a little bit better in kind of blending those shots. So sometimes it wasn't always obvious if what we were seeing was actually Japan or whether it was New Zealand. And there's a few shots in this battle here. It's very obviously Japan, but like I said, as the series progressed, it got a lot better. I remember there was this one blending of shots that they did in Samurai that was so well done. I didn't realize that the Japanese footage had been shot in Japan. I actually thought it had been done in New Zealand. I'll try and find some more examples later. Okay, I just spotted the Zord has something on it that says Goanger, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So I'm thinking that might be the Sentai that they derived this from. I'm gonna have to research it. That thing that Ziggy's having to do right now as an actor, where you're told when you're filming a scene, you're viewing the following things, and then they just like call out to you what you're seeing, and you have to like just pull a performance out of thin air, but you're not actually looking at anything. Oh, I don't like doing that. Crunch. And of course, it takes out their own men or own robots. Do you see that crate he landed on? It was clearly rubber. This happens sometimes where, like, with the villains, there'll be like a main baddie, and then there'll be like maybe one or two smart villains, and there'll be like the one villain who's kind of like the comic relief, or maybe not so bright. I don't know what that character's name is. I'm gonna have to look it up. Oh, is this the thing where they gigantify it? Oh, that looks very much like Beast Morphers. Oh yeah, yeah. Game over. Of course, they just took out 4 city blocks. Oh, maybe I'm right. Maybe he is an infiltrator. I don't know. It doesn't make sense because he showed such kindness to that flower in the previous episode. Hmm. I wonder if the son that Colonel Truman lost, which this son referenced in the last episode, I'm wondering if he was maybe the one of the other Power Rangers, like the black or green or something. All right, they need to vet these guards a bit better. Very Spider-Man moment. He's got an audience now. Pop, oh my gosh, popcorn. How did he get a whiteboard? Are they going to become an item? Not a good first impression. Ah, someone's mopping. That means it's. Oh my gosh. Yeah, everyone's gone home. Okay, so he said he didn't know what his name was before, so he's just pulled that name out of thin air. Hmm. Okay, so this is the second time we've seen the watch. The watch is clearly important to him. It has some connection to his past. No. Wow. So I was right about the whole kind of Terminator thing. So maybe Dylan is a Terminator, he just doesn't realize it. They're totally going to become friends. All right, all right, all right. I got all right, I got to explain something here. So, while I only provided some voice work for the show, I still managed to get into the rap party for R.P.M. Usually reserved for like, the stars and supporting characters and people who worked on the show, but usually the voice talent, you know, at least the voice work I provided wouldn't have gotten me into the rap party. I got in through a friend who had an extra ticket. In any case, so I got to attend the R.P.M. rap party. And because they thought it was going to be like the last season shot in Power Rangers, the kind of like tribute video that they had made, they went all out. Like the first part of the video was all like all the seasons that they had filmed up until then. And then, of course, they showed behind the scenes bloopers from R.P.M. Well, I actually filmed it on my phone. And I remember one of the bloopers was Ziggy doing a shadow puppet, and apparently he something kept going wrong and he kept screwing up. So I'm gonna have to dig into my files and I'm gonna have to find it and I'm gonna have to like put it down below, assuming I can find it. Whoa. Whoa. I remember when we were recording this episode, there was something about that threat that really freaked me out. There was something really menacing about these guys, and Ziggy's just so, kind of innocent and defenseless that really it kind of creeped me out. Also, you have to wonder, why are the other convicts wearing a different color? Ziggy and Dylan are wearing orange. Those other convicts were wearing a different color. I think I recognize So that guy standing right behind Ziggy, I think his name's Danu. He ultimately became the suit actor for Smash in Beast Morphers. Okay, so if memory serves, I think in the previous episode, Ziggy told Dylan that he had come from Corinth. He like showed him an ID card or something. There's history here. I'm looking forward to the backstory. I'm still adamant they're going to become best friends. Oh. Mm. Oh, that's a statement. Okay, I have a theory. I could be totally wrong on this point. I think I know why the costumer has Dylan and Ziggy in orange and everyone else in these gray colors. If they were all wearing the same colors, then Dylan would kind of get lost in the fight. It would be harder to see him and to see what he's doing. So I think maybe artistically it's just a choice that they made so that he would stand out more. We could see what a great fighter he is. Oh, see that? What you just heard that? Somebody cried out, "Hey, behind you." That is a classic example of looping. So none of those people in the scene would have recorded that line on the day. That would have been added later when we were in the recording booth. And that one, I'm pretty sure, was my friend Jeremy. Yeah, so like all the guys in the looping group, we would have been voicing all the sounds of these other guys fighting and pain sounds and that kind of stuff. Ziggy just doesn't know when to quit. Now he's adding salt to the wound. If he's not careful, they're gonna come for him again. Oh, this guy. Oh.
I thought I was weird.
You have to join us.
Easy choice.
What's it gonna be, Dylan? Are you in? Are you out?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm guessing the chains were in response to all those people he beat up. He's quite a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, some interesting stuff in it. Obviously, a lot of character development. For my own personal tastes, I thought the first half ran a bit long. It was just a lot of fighting. I would have liked to have seen a lot more backstory and maybe less action. But I understand that there usually has to be like a lot of exposition before you get to the really cool stuff, all the big reveals and all the secrets coming out. It's interesting spotting all the things that I wouldn't have noticed when we recorded this in 2008, late 2008. Seeing people that maybe I didn't know at the time that now I recognize, some of the voices. So yeah, that was just a few thoughts on episode 2. I still like where this season is going. I have a feeling it's gonna be amazing. Lots of laughs, great shots, great characters, great music. It'll be interesting to see if some of my predictions come true. All right, that said, thanks for watching. See you at the next one.